Dude, Wii bowling is the shit.
Wii bowling is the shit. The best part when I was a kid is that my brother and I used to take it and you used to let it go behind you and then you used to like let it.
Yes, and then they would
go,
up and they'd spin around. Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo.
They'd spin around in a circle and they go, ah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anywho, welcome back for another episode of BarTalk Podcast. BarTalk. It's your host, Abigail, and your co-host, Tracy. Hey, cheers. And we're drinking some wine. It is one of those episodes we could be dying.
Hurricane party.
Hello?
Yeah, we'll see mid-recording. We might have some issues because apparently there is a huge storm coming in. The past few weeks has been crazy. I think the world's ending. It's apparently El Nino, which is crazy weather patterns.
That's what it means?
Yeah, it's like because the waters are warm. So you're talking about
yeah.
So because the waters are warm, it's creating all of these like insane weather situations where you get like cold fronts and then like it's really hot and you get storms and all kinds of stuff. So
yeah,
I'm not looking forward to hurricane season in Florida because it's already been
bad.
Flash flood in Tallahassee, like not a bad flash flood.
That we've never seen before. Like I literally just bought a house and they were like, this is the worst storm ever. And I was like,
yeah, 3 tornadoes came through the other day and it was the worst Tallahassee I think has ever seen, at least as long as I've been alive in terms of damage.
Oh yeah,
it was 3 tornadoes, 2 combined to turn into one super tornado. Mm-hmm. And
took out like all of College Town and Railroad Square.
It was like 80 to 100 mile per hour winds. I don't get scared of storms, but I like looked outside the gym and I legitimately considered seeking cover. It was that bad.
Yeah.
And
our people then, like a lot of my friends and people from the team didn't have power for like 2.5 days. 3 days.
Yep. I never lost power, but thank God. But yeah, and then today there is more flash flood and tornado watches going on.
Sickening.
So we canceled our clients for the rest of the day because I do not want. I've already had somebody's car get totaled trying to drive to the gym to train with me.
Denise, R.I.P. to
your
Mustang,
my God, poor
dude.
lady. To her, her Mustang. She
she drove her Mustang
into the water.
It was starting to pour, and Denise was trying to get to the gym, I'm sure as swiftly as possible. If you know Denise, you know her. She's on a mission.
Yep.
And the road that she drives on, she could have went left. She ended up going right, and she literally drove right into the depths of the ocean.
No, she stayed in the fucking right lane, and in the right lane is where it is the deepest because the water was slanted, the road was slanted.
Oh my God, she drove like into the ocean.
You also, it's like rule numero uno: do not drive into what looks like a flooded road because you don't know how deep it is. She did
fuck around and find out.
Another person, yes, but then Kat also was trying to get to me, and she popped a freaking tire on a damn
because she hit a tree on
a stick.
I know.
So I was like, this is trauma. I'm not having clients this evening. Y'all go home and be safe, please.
Yeah.
And because it could not be bad, but if it is like it was the past couple days, it's really fucking bad. And I don't want anyone driving in that shit.
Yeah, we just came back from Tampa. Me and my brother were in Tampa for the weekend for Mother's Day and for my grandpa. And literally the first thing I said when I was driving back was I had a couple people text me because they know that my garage has been flooding. And so they were like, hey, just want to let you know the storms are bad. Like you texted me, Alana texted me, Brocat texted me, and a couple others. And I was like, shit. And the first thing that I did was I dropped off my dogs and was like, I'm going to get sandbags. Fuck this shit. So I went and I got like, I was the Karen because there was like 40 of us that walked into Lowe's at the same time and they were like aisle 19 for sandbags and I just sprinted. I got the last 4 actual sandbags and then I got the very last package of sandbags and I was like, Core, we just gotta divvy these things up. So it's been pretty rough. Stay safe out there, y'all.
Yeah, but we figured that while it's not too bad outside, we would, which it's supposed to start at 3 and it's not bad, so we'll see. But anyways, we're going to play this game that I love playing by Esther Perel called Where Should We Begin? And it's like a get to know you game. And it's cool because you pick a card. It has a certain prompt. There's like a certain way to play it, but I don't play it that way. I just play it where you draw a card and then you ask the other person.
Okay, so we're going to, you have to spin this die.
Hold on, I lie. I ask it, this is what you do. You pull a card. You're going to have to answer it for yourself. But before you do that, you roll this die. And this die is what determines basically how you share what is on the card. So, for example, let's say it will say something like, the most embarrassing story ever in my life. Okay, you roll the die, and the die will have something like from your teenage POV, a secret, something you wouldn't tell your mom, something risky. So you have to tell it from that perspective. So the cards can kind of be recycled. So it's fun.
Cool.
And there are some, because Esther Perel is a relationship therapist. There are some that are a little sexual,
a little spicy,
a little saucy. So,
okay. You want to go first?
Yeah, well, we're going to roll, and then we each pick a card, and then we'll each tell from that thing, but I'll roll it, which is, it says, share something risky.
Share something risky.
You pull one.
Okay.
Oh, what's yours?
Well, technically, I've only really gone a while ago. Oh, it says, I lied to my therapist about ...
What's something you would lie to your therapist about, I guess, if you don't go to therapy?
Well, I don't go to therapy now. I don't really remember when I did when I was in college, but
you went to therapy in college?
Yeah,
that makes sense. You were fucked up.
I was pretty fucked up when I was in college.
I didn't even know her then.
I did go to therapy, but it was also like therapy through the school, and I'm not gonna lie, like I absolutely hated it. Like,
really?
Yeah, I absolutely hated it.
Why? What didn't you like about it?
I just I don't know, something about being in college. I just don't think I had the best experience because I was still doing fucked up things. Maybe that's what I'll lie about. I definitely lied about how much I drank to my therapist because I would like go out and do really fucked up things, and they would kind of ask me about like what I was doing to help with like my anxiety at the time. And instead of actually dealing with my anxiety, I definitely would just like go and drink and like hang out with all my friends and do really fucked up things. That's my lie. I'd say that. I lied about how much I actually drank.
No wonder you hated therapy, because you lied when you went.
Yeah, well, I lied, but then also it was like, but I'm in college and I'm trying to experience, and like, you know, I would rather just like forget about everything and just like, you know, drink and so whatever. So I definitely lied.
That's a problem. Yeah. Such a problem.
She'd be like, "Did you drink this week?" And meanwhile, I was like absolutely hammered on a fucking Tuesday, going to lift on a Wednesday morning, like still obliterated from the night before, and I'd be like, "No."
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I definitely lied about that.
Share something risky. It says my favorite love story to tell.
Ew.
Something risky about a love story?
Yeah.
Something
that maybe you don't want people to know?
I don't really.
Is there anything you haven't told me?
About a love story? This is really not the question for Abigail.
Let's see.
I can tell something that is like, I guess something risky because it's not me. It's not necessarily a love story. It's kind of like the sad part of a love story.
Okay,
and
go.
Okay, so I was, and this is actually probably the moment that I really honestly had wished my parents would get a divorce, is when I realized this. And it was probably 15 or 16, and we were driving in Mississippi, and this song came on. I've probably told you the story, but I'm going to tell it to the podcast fees. This song came on, and it was this love song about a dad just like watching him give his daughter away to this man that she's in love with, and just watching these two people and his daughter, who he loves so much, like just be in love. And my mom, who I was driving with, was crying during the song, and I looked over at her and I was so confused. I was like, "Mom, why are you crying?" You know, because the song was sad, but it was like a love song. It was happy. And she just looked at me and she said, "Because I have never had a love like this in my life."
Oh.
And that was, I used to for years make me emotional even thinking about it. And that was probably the moment that I realized, you know, like, this is, I think that was the moment that I felt a burden of being her child, because I knew that part of the reason why she wasn't divorcing my dad was because of me.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So that was not really a love story, but
risky to tell because Mom's definitely listening.
Yeah. Sorry, Mom. I'm telling a personal story.
Share something surprising.
This
is like going to be so hard because I feel like Abigail and I know a lot about
each other.
Okay.
I didn't know that though. I didn't know that you had gone to therapy in college.
Yeah, true. You know what's really funny? Me and my brother were actually talking about this. Like,
you
on
have
the
to
way
read
down.
the card first.
I know, but this is not about the card.
Oh, okay.
Like, me and my brother were talking about that. Like, so my brother and I have lived so many different lives. It seems that like every time our home comes up, we find ourselves. We don't actually talk about my home life as much as I think that we do. Like, we talk about it to each other, and like we've gone through a lot of shit, but it's almost like a different lifetime ago because so much has happened, and like to be able to get out of New Jersey was so traumatic, so we kind of like literally shut the door and just basically started anew in Florida. Yeah. So like I feel like a lot of things from that time I haven't like shared enough of.
Maybe. I
feel like I've shared a lot with you, but there's some things that I definitely have like left out because I've just been like, fuck,
and after going with you to Jersey, I think it was also a little different.
Yeah.
Like I got to experience more of it because I
because
I got to see your home, so.
Yeah. Which definitely allowed her to make more sense of who I am.
Yeah.
Miss De La Ghetto.
Oh my God.
Miss De La Ghetto. Okay. So this sentence says, share something surprising. And this says, I still feel like I need to impress ... Is this supposed to be a person? Mm-hmm. Like somebody? So. Mm-hmm. I still feel like I need to impress. I don't know. I don't think this will be like very surprising though. I'm trying to think of somebody else that's not of somebody that I maybe think about all the like often that I would, Okay, I'm gonna say this. I don't think that this is surprising, but I'll say that this is my biggest one only for the fact that sometimes, like, especially because it's fresh, like I still feel like I have to impress Stefano. Because in a way, which is my ex, by the way, because in a way, I am doing so well. And like, I actually have, like for a really long time, I thought that everything was my fault. And I thought that I was doing everything wrong because nothing was going right. And I was in this black hole of being like, what the fuck? Like every single time I would do something right, I would still take 2 steps behind. Mm-hmm. And like, I've forgiven myself for a lot of things. And so like, I actually am doing so well and I'm so happy and I could give a fuck less about that era of my life that I still feel like I want him to look at me and be like, damn, I fucked up. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like I still want to continuously do well. Yeah.
And feel just how good you feel now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like in a way, like I don't want him to really feel good, but I want him to feel the feeling that I feel.
I want you to feel like shit. And I want you to feel even shittier knowing I feel great.
Like, God damn, like I fucked it. Like I fucked this shit up,
Yeah. But I think that that's a very common reaction post relationship.
Yeah.
Because I have not even been married, but I've felt that exiting relationships, especially relationships that did not end well.
Yeah.
And so that makes perfect sense.
Yeah. And I know that he knows what I'm doing.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I know he knows what I'm doing.
And also,
I know he sees what I'm doing. And so even as that extra layer of being like, I know you fucking see me. Yeah. And so, like, I want to make sure that even when I'm not trying, a show, baby. I'm fucking doing good.
Give him a show.
Yeah.
The last time I felt like an imposter.
Ooh.
Today.
What?
Yeah, I think that, yeah. I'm in a time in my life where I think I am at probably some of the highest level of, like, anxiety, depression, neuroses that I have ever been at for the longest stint. And I think it's because I am having to kind of forcefully like leave an identity behind and figure out what I really want, who I really am, like as I'm going into my own business, like listening to the opinions of others versus actually what I feel that I need to do, leveling up in my business, figuring out what to charge and how much I want to work and where I want to go with my business and next steps and things like that. It's very scary. And also as I begin to get better in my field, I start working with the big dogs. Mm-hmm. And in some ways, you kind of are an imposter. I think the imposter
you feel like you got to
syndrome,
keep up with them.
Yeah, I think in some ways, imposter syndrome exists because it's like you really don't belong here yet, but you also don't belong where you were. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I've been thinking a lot about the notion of identity, and it's just like how it's very interesting how we attach ourselves to a certain part of who we are, even if it's not healthy, because that's just what we have always said that we are and what other people say that we are, you know? Mm-hmm. And so you feel as though almost like you owe the people what they assume you to be. Yeah. Even if it's not healthy, even if it's like, oh, she's just kind of a bitch. Like, let's just say it's like, she's just kind of a bitch. It's like, okay, so I need to keep acting like a bitch because people know, like, because it makes people comfortable. No,
but you think that way because it's just like that's what they already perceive you as. So it's like, well, you might as well keep up this type of identity because that's who you are.
Or Abigail's like the tough girl.
Yeah, which is not like, true, by the way.
Yeah, and but I feel as though I almost have to be like, well, you're the tough girl, so fucking fight through this and this and this and this, and you know, feel nothing, ignore it. And it's like, I'm not the tough girl. Like, no. I'm not a tough girl. I can be tough. Yeah. I have moments of very, like, crazy discipline and drive and tenacity. Right. And I'm capable of a lot of things. But you're not like the
tough girl that everybody thinks where it's just like, oh, Abigail's going to do what she wants and say what she wants and she's going to take everything head on. It's more or less like you do have a very soft soul. Yeah. But I just think that, like you said, that's one of those things where like you are very fortunate. And I think all three of us, like me, you, and Alana, are very fortunate of like our drive and our ambition to do certain things have put us in positions where we have a lot of options. And it's very hard to feel like we have all the options because you feel like you got to be at the top, because some people at the top are kind of like looking at you and being like, hey, here's this little like, you know, golden carrot that you can chase. And you're just kind of like, all right, fine, I'm going to do everything that I can to be up here, when realistically you're not there yet, but you could be. And so you feel like you have to act a lot better and a lot tougher than you actually are. Yeah. So I get that.
I think it's just a front for what, I don't know. It's just, it's just an identity. So I think I felt like an imposter today. I feel like an imposter all the time because some ways I feel like an imposter with myself because I feel like there's a piece of myself that is unraveling and also that is growing. And I have no idea exactly what's going to come of it, but I'm just, I'm trying to get to a place where I can understand, I can appreciate where I am. You
gotta give yourself grace.
What I am, where I am. And to know that it's like, I'm doing my best and I'm working and I'm going, and there are days in which I push and there are days in which I don't. And like,
well, it's just like when you accept me for where I'm at and I do the same for you. So you have to do that to yourself. Yeah. It's just like today,
because the journey is forever.
It's shit, and you're like, okay, so let it be shit, and instead of trying to navigate and figure out the reason why. You don't have to have all of the reasons why. Sometimes it's just not your day, and so you just have to accept yourself where you're at. Yeah. And if 40% is 100% of that day, then you give 40% because that's actually 100%. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. All right, I like it. Move on.
Good. Share something. We just did that one.
Flip it.
Oh my god!
Flip it.
What are the odds? Ooh, share a secret.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, my God.
What does it say?
Mine says, share a secret. If I could switch genders for a day, ...
I would totally jerk off.
I would so do the same.
Would totally jerk off because you know what?
Hold on. I would go in public and I would just pee wherever the fuck I wanted.
Hold on.
That's not really a secret. I think everybody knows that about me.
Also, hold on. Okay. Because did I tell you my dream that I had about how I turned
Please
into
don't tell me you jerked off in front of somebody.
The dream that I had where I was a dude? No. All right, hold on. No, I have come across a revelation. Women have it better. Oh, shit.
Hold on. Honestly, I'm like not even surprised. I'm not surprised. It's supposed to be surprising.
Are we good? Are we back?
Okay. You're good.
Am I playing? All right.
Yeah.
So this is the dream that I had. I vaguely remember it now, but I woke up and I was like, oh my God, revelation. I am a man. Okay. I was dreaming, and in my dream, I was a dude. It was very depressing because I was jerking off in my dream, right?
Sick.
I was peeing and jerking off simultaneously, which I've spoken to dudes, not a possibility. Very difficult to do. Okay? I don't know.
I would imagine.
But it's my dream, so I can do whatever the fuck I want. also sad. I remember very clearly in my dream, I had like one of the long skinny penises. Ugh, I was so disappointed. I had a pencil. Anyways, I was jerking off my pencil penis, and I came in my dream, but I like pissed came because I was peeing and jerking off. It was fucking weird. Anyways, and when I came, I literally immediately awoke, and I thought, that's not as good as a girl orgasm. It's not as good.
Not possible, but also
not as good.
It ain't good.
It's not as good as a female orgasm.
Huh, disappointing. I do often.
Which is, I think, why men want to come all the time, because it's like not an addiction. They're just like, I gotta get the good one.
Yeah, they're like, this next one will be better.
Whereas girls, we're just like, it's one and done, baby. I feel awesome.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah.
Wow, that's like really fucking disappointing.
I know. It's probably not true, but that was my dream. Anyways,
Abigail's a man.
I immediately went to my jiu-jitsu school, and I told everybody.
I have to know the truth.
And I was like...
Also, I'd be like, if I was a dude, do you think that I would have a pencil penis?
Yeah, I was a little upset. I felt like I would have like at least a short fatty.
Like a chode. Like, you're definitely like the short pipple of humans of life.
It's like my body.
Like, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like
I need to not stop. I need to stop saying that about myself so that I don't cry later. Okay.
Tracy thinks I'd have a fucking chode.
She thinks I have a chode body. Okay, share a secret. My beliefs about marriage have been most challenged by probably the church.
Really?
Because
that's not what I thought you were going to say.
And also, honestly, this podcast that I listened to with the divorce lawyer that I sent you that you never listened to, but it's very good.
I've gone through my own divorce.
It was, but it was just very interesting to like what marriage is and what marriage is not, and watching it and observing it growing up. It's like, I think I saw oftentimes what I thought was marriage was really, and what I saw really in my house was a business arrangement. Mm-hmm. And sex was for kids, like to produce kids, and it was like there was nothing romantic about it. And then I saw like the flip side of that, which is social media, which is like everything is romance. And then listening to this divorce lawyer's podcast episode on it, it was very fascinating because it was kind of this notion that it's like it's really not either.
Yeah, it's not.
And it's kind of
it's not whole of both.
It's and it's also, I think the more hard conversations you can have earlier on, the better off you'll be.
Yeah.
And he was talking about how people who get prenups and sign prenups often do not need to use the prenups later because they are the couple that can have the hard conversation about prenup signage, sign the prenup, put it away and never need it again. And that shows future potential strength of relationships. So I think my beliefs about marriage have been challenged probably mostly by the church because that's what I grew up in and that's what I saw the most. And so I thought that marriage was really this thing that was just absolutely nothing special. When in reality, I think that it's not necessarily this magical thing, but you're choosing every day to create a life and a partnership with one person forever. And that's powerful.
I often think about the fact that like when you grow up and you're in school and you're like basically preparing yourself for life, there's like major things that you don't learn in school. And like those major things are like how to live, like taxes and finances and shit like that, I feel like are one of those things that everybody's like, we never learned this. But how to live as human beings with somebody else, like instead of taking sex ed, I wish that this like schools taught you how to coincide with other people, like almost in a way where you took like a relations class, like just even as kids, because you grow up with whatever your household is, but everybody ends up being able to make a choice of their own on how they want to live. But I feel like that 98% of humans, they go into adulthood completely blind because what you're taught is what you see, and what you see is not always the case.
Yeah.
I mean, that even happened to us. Like the way that I thought about, like, I'm not gonna lie to you, I loved being married.
Yeah.
Like I loved being married.
Yeah, I think you did. I don't think that it was not something like
but it's
treacherous.
definitely not something that you learned how to handle when specific things came up, or like how to handle another human being. Like you're just learning that for yourself.
Yeah.
And you do think like to a certain extent that it's kind of like a business deal, or, I just think that that's one of the things that I wish that they kind of not necessarily taught in schools, but they almost had like an experimental type class.
Yeah.
Where they taught, like you had that with sex ed, and it was really just who could say penis without laughing. Enough, it really wasn't taken that seriously because you learned it so young.
Like have two people be on like a team project that lasts the whole year.
Yeah, like something
just so
like that.
that
But I definitely think it would help kids a lot be able to figure out themselves instead of being so heavily influenced by what's at home.
Yeah,
like I think that's really important.
And also you learn how to communicate. You learn how to have hard conversations. You learn, yeah, it'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Anywho, you're rolling.
I roll.
You roll.
Oh shit.
Jesus.
All right, this is share something surprising again. You want me to roll it again or no?
Roll it again.
I roll.
Let's see. If it's the same, we do it.
Okay. Ooh. Share from your teenage point of view.
Ooh.
This one's cool. Ooh. Okay. All right. Okay. I don't know.
God, there's so many answers I could go with this one. What is yours?
Mine says my closest encounter with death.
Damn.
Like personal death?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Death.
Okay. Because I've had a lot of death.
I almost died on a motorcycle when I was a teenager.
Really?
Like for real. Like within 2 feet almost. And I had to go, like I was on the back of the motorcycle with my boyfriend at the time. And we had to swerve into a gutter.
Huh. That's not cool.
Oh no, like I legitimately, it was very strange because I thought I'd be more anxious, dying. I felt very calm.
Really?
Like I was like, I'm gonna die. Like I legitimately looked and I saw the car pull out. We were speeding.
You're like, this is
he was speeding. We were probably going 70 or 75 on Thomasville Road, which is a 45-mile-per-hour road. The guy pulled out wide right in front of us, and it wasn't necessarily his fault. He was just moving slow old man pulling out of the gas station. And we were speeding, and I mean, we were 2 feet, 70 miles an hour about to hit this dude, and luckily there was a gutter.
Holy shit.
And not a guardrail or something going on, because we would have.
Wild.
I mean, it was like, I legitimately looked and said, okay, I'm going to die, or I'm going to break a lot of shit, because it was, I had no gear on, protection. I had a helmet, and that was it, jeans. That was it.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Yeah, so.
Damn, I'm trying to think of something. I've had a lot of death in my life that I've been around, but my own personal death, I'm trying to think of something maybe when I was a teenager. Even now, I feel like, I don't know, I've definitely been in a lot of shit, but I'm trying to think of something that's my own personal stuff. What's yours?
Mine is the person whom I wish would forgive me.
Ooh, man, you got the fucking deep ones.
Yeah. The person whom I wish would forgive me. Yours ain't deep, but talking about death. Anyways.
I know, but mine's not like, I've had so much death in my life, like around me and people that are close to me and my friends and family. Like those are almost like my closest encounters with death. You haven't almost
died? Of all the party stories you haven't almost fucking died?
Bitch, I don't remember half of them.
Okay, so every time Tracy went out and got drunk, there's her answer. The person whom I wish would forgive me was honestly from my teenage POV, from now POV, from probably a lot of, hopefully not too far in the future POV, is myself.
Good answer.
I was highly critical of myself then.
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
I like that. Shit, dude, I really can't can't think of, I don't know, maybe it's just not coming to me right now.
She's never almost died, guys.
Like a cat with 9 lives.
She's never almost died. There's definitely a situation where she's almost died, and honestly, she probably just really wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, there's definitely a situation where I've like been real fucking close.
We're being real.
I will say maybe this is one of them. This is definitely one of them. Okay, one time when I was at Camp Lejeune, which technically I wasn't really a teenager. I was technically like a young adult, but I think I was like 20. I think I was 21 at the time because I had like just gotten married. Dude, I
you hit a deer.
Yeah, coming out the back gate, and that shit was one of the scariest things I've ever experienced. Like top 5 scariest things I've ever experienced in my life. Like first of all, I didn't realize, maybe it's just me being young and ignorant, I didn't realize that like deer are different sizes in different states. And like, let me tell you something, the deer in New Jersey are fucking massive. The deer in North Carolina are not that big, and it was he was grown. And where I used to live,
the deer in Jersey are massive.
Yeah, dude, they will total your car.
Anyways,
like on spot.
Shit. All right, I didn't know that.
Coming out the back gate of Camp Lejeune, Stefano wasn't home. He was out in the field, or was on a deployment. I don't really remember. But I was at my friend Matt and Morgan's house, which they used to live on base, and I used to live off base, which was like about 30 minutes away. And where I had lived was a couple miles away from our artillery zone, so there was no lights like at the back gate until you got out in town. So I was coming out, and it's like a huge field, just an open field, and there's no lights. And this deer fucking came at the hood of my car, came running at the hood of my car. It flipped over and went over the top of my car, and I ended up in the opposite side. Like, thank God nobody was coming the opposite direction, but I actually ended up going to the left because I just veered with it, because it's kind of like if you get hit, you go like with it. So I went with the deer, and I ended up on the opposite side of the road in the trees. And thankfully, like, I didn't get hurt or anything, but it scared the living shit out of me because I went to go get out of my car because I was like stuck in the bushes, and I went to go call my buddy Matt and Morgan, who I was with, and like a whole fucking pack of like coyotes were just like right there.
Ready to eat
this fucking deer because it was bleeding everywhere. And I had called him knowing that he would, like, he's like, "Are you okay? I'm going to come get that deer." Like, you know what I mean? Because I was good. I was just like super frazzled, but they were all like basically waiting for him, and they took him right in front of me. And I was like, holy shit. So I was like sitting in my car just fucking shaking and waiting for them to come and get me. But that's probably like the closest that I could remember, because that was top 5 scariest things in my life. Like 100%.
Shit. You're getting calls from everyone.
I know.
Share what you wouldn't tell mom.
Oh, I can't do this question with that one, because it literally says,
oh.
I can't do this question with that one. Something that I wouldn't tell my mom, but then the question is what I've learned about love from my parents.
This one's just dumb.
I'm gonna skip this. Sorry.
I feel like you could, because it could be something like kind of fucked up. I got one.
Okay, I'm literally gonna answer this question because I know she's gonna see it. And this, okay, mine says share something that you wouldn't tell mom. But the question is, the person who challenges me the most,
your mom.
Definitely my mom. Definitely my mom. Not something that I would just say on a whim. However, my mom and I are like
fire and fire.
And this is why I think that I am more like my dad than my mom is, than me and my mom are, right? However, the way that I respond to certain things is exactly how she responds. So like, we both have extremely short tempers, and we're also like fucking right there. It's like a don't fuck with me. We have short tempers. It's like we have that stubborn head. My dad is more kind of like
mellow.
Whatever happens. We'll figure it out. It's all right, you know? And even though I am that way about life in general, when it comes to like very specific things and like getting shit done in a certain manner, we're like fire and fire. So it's like two bulls in a china shop. And my mom will challenge me on the craziest shit that we will both just butt heads back and forth and back and forth. I mean, I love her for it. Don't get me wrong, but she keeps me on my toes, but still.
Share what you wouldn't tell mom. The compliment I'm always hoping for that I give a really awesome head.
I'm going to call that from a mile away. I'm going to fucking call that from a mile away. All right, share something from your teenage point of view again.
Oh my God. Oh my God. No.
You go first.
You go first. Mine's a pink card, which if you don't know, pink card is a sexual card.
Really?
Yeah.
Shit.
Or it's a relationship-y card.
Should I pick a different one then? Should I see if I get something spicy?
You can see, yeah. She's like, fuck it, I want the spicy ones.
Oh. No, that's not a fun card. I don't
She's like, fuck this game.
Yeah, fuck this game. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, this is a good fucking question.
If I was dating myself, I would be annoyed with. There's a lot of things I would be annoyed with about me, dude. Okay. All right, give me this because I'll tell a story.
Teenage POV would be how often I get fucking lit. How often I get fucking lit. I know. How often Tracy get crunk in the club. The fuck?
Oh my God. I'll be so fucking annoyed with myself.
Wait, hold on. You go first.
Okay. It was, if I was dating myself, I would be annoyed with, and it's something from my teenage years.
Yeah, teenage POV.
Teenage point of view. So this is not something about me. Well, I guess it's technically something about me now. Yeah. Okay. I would. Yeah, mine would probably be like genuinely how much I loved to party. Like, don't get me wrong. I swing hard where I'm like, I need to go out and I need to get absolutely obliterated. And then I'm like hanging out, having a glass of wine.
Yeah,
like,
she's not bad.
I have a very good balanced lifestyle, even though we joke around all the time that I like to go out. But I was. I was at a point of my life, especially. Here's what was really fucking annoying about me is that I could not go home. Okay. So I always had to find a place to stay out. So I was like, I was that bitch where it was like, I had to have a plan. So I didn't get home and get my ass beat by my parents.
She's still this way. She still doesn't want to go home.
But bitch, I love my house now.
No, but you don't want to go home. You still are like, I'm drunk and let's keep partying.
I know. Okay. But back then I could not go home or else I would get my ass beat.
So you'd have to like freeload with people.
One time the one time I ended up home because I got kicked out of where I was at, I literally jumped through my fucking screen and porch door, which was open, and then had to haggle the fucking lock to get in, and I got my ass beat by my mother. Anyway, I would always be that kid that had to be like, hey, can I stay over? And then I would get so fucked up.
Oh, you were probably the annoying drunk that had people to take care of.
Probably. I don't doubt it. I definitely don't doubt it. But sorry, RIP to all my friends. But it was a good time, though. I was the girl that always brought the really fun shot glasses, though. I will say about myself. I had these little flute shot glasses, and I kept a bag full of them because I knew I was going to stay. This is really bad. This makes me sound like an alcoholic, but listen, forgive me, God.
She was.
I used to have a bag of like a night out of clothing that I would just be like, I tell my brother, I'd be like, hey, dude, I'm leaving. I'm not going to come back. He's like, okay. And I would make a plan to go out, and I would have a bag change full of clothes and even a bag for work when I lived home back then.
And your shot
glasses. I always had shot glasses that had like people's names on them, and I would make really fun things because I knew that I was basically freeloading off of people and like staying at other people's houses, but I would like have to bring something. So I would always go get the alcohol, and then I would always like bring cool shot glasses and stuff.
I do,
but it's
from really my proof that I did party and I did have fun. Everybody in high school, I used to always bring party glasses. And it was like this one pair of fucking sunglasses that I would always wear to every party. It was mostly my senior year. And I don't know what it was about them, but it was a fucking hit. Like, they would be passed around the whole party. Everyone would be fucked up. Someone would be like taking a bong rip. They're like, give me the party glasses. Yeah, like, they'd wear them and shit. And by the end of the night,
to have,
and by the end of the night, I don't know, I would always get them back somehow. Like, I would always,
hell yeah.
Yeah, but that was what I would do. I was always come and it'd be like, what's up, Abigail? She's got the party glasses on. And that's how you knew I was going to get fucked up or high as shit.
We should do that, make more shot glasses.
From your teenage POV, you'd never know that I daydream about hooking up with. From my teenage POV?
I wouldn't even know them.
Oh my God. It was probably something retarded. It was probably like Zac Efron or something. I don't know.
Like a celebrity?
I guess, okay, if it was a real person. Okay, no, this is somebody that actually I saw recently, so I remember. But I think it was his brother. I don't remember if I dreamt about hooking up with him or his brother, to be honest with you.
The whole family.
But it was sorry for outing you boys, but it was the Pichard brothers.
Okay.
And I don't know, I was like so smitten with one of them. I don't know which one.
The brother or the dad.
Both? Both? Whatever. Don't care. But I had the fattest crush on I think I spoke to them like 2 times in high school. Really? I was like, I was not a confident girl. I was like the shy little, I was like, I was like the pick me girl. I was in the corner. I was like, ew,
no way.
Yeah, dude. I was like that bitch. And now it's so funny because I'm not even remotely close that way. No. I'll basically walk up to you and be like, you are fine. And I don't really know what to do about it. So, but
That's
anyways,
funny as hell.
but yeah, that was who I would dream of hooking up with. Wouldn't tell mom. Okay.
I fucking love these cards. This is fun.
Oh my God. The most expensive date I've been on was that recent one, probably to California, but I'm going to pass up on that card because that's boring. Oh.
Something I wouldn't
I pulled the perfect card. I got another pink one.
Something
from mine. Maybe mine are pink.
Something I wouldn't tell my mom though.
Is it not?
Like all these things I've told my mom. Okay.
That's a pink one.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Dude, how long have we been playing?
A
We're
myth?
probably, by the way, just going to end up
myth?
cutting this off and then we'll just keep playing it because it's a really fun fucking game.
I know. Wait, a myth that I wouldn't tell my mom?
No. No, it's share what you wouldn't tell mom.
Yeah, share what you wouldn't tell mom. And it's
a
like
myth about sex I've had to unlearn.
Yeah.
Something what's a myth about sex that you've had to unlearn?
Okay, go ahead. You go first.
The weirdest place I've had sex. I know yours. I think you've said it on the podcast.
Have I?
In a fucking, literally in a military movie theater. Which is just a bunch of fucking chairs.
I had sex in a military movie theater surrounded by a bunch of men in the very back row.
Which, by the way, if you know anything about military movie theater, I'm sure that none of them gave a flying fuck. They're probably like, understand, brother. I get it. It's been 6 months, brother. Anyways, the weirdest place I've had sex. I've also said this on the podcast, but it wasn't sex, it was head, and it was on a sandbar in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah, you did say that.
In the middle of the ocean.
Lit.
Yeah. In broad daylight.
Okay. Something that I wouldn't tell my mom. A myth about sex I've had to unlearn. Oh God. This is like just basically figuring everything out on your own. Okay. Maybe this isn't like a myth.
I have
but this
one.
is something that I definitely wouldn't tell my mom.
Okay.
I've had more close calls with condoms than I've had without condoms.
What do you mean?
Yeah. Like I've had more close calls
Like
with
where you didn't get your
condoms.
period?
Yeah, we're just like it breaks or like something happens and or just something ends
Or
up happening
halfway
or it's
in,
halfway
you're like,
and halfway
take it
out.
out,
Yeah,
yeah.
and then it just like doesn't really work or like but I've had like more close calls. I felt safer without a condom on than I've had with a condom on.
I feel like without
for
a
sure.
condom, you tend to be more careful.
Oh, hell
because
yeah.
you're with it.
And
So
you also just like
when you
you're
have a
constantly
condom-
like thinking about it in a way. So it's kind of like you know when like it's about to happen. So like you're way safer. But then also, I don't know. I just have felt more in control without one on than I have with one on.
Yeah. Condoms also suck.
They do. They really. One time, dude. Oh my God, fucking one time, dude. I went in and got
One time, dude.
Yeah,
I will not even believe it.
no, one time, bro. I went in and I got those like fire and ice condoms.
Oh my God.
I've never been in more pain in my fucking life. First of all, they were
Pussy.
expensive as all hell. And we were like, oh yeah, let's try something fucking new. And so I went in and got it. And let me tell you something. I had to literally stick an ice cube up my vagina because I was in so much pain. I was like, something is happening to me. You gotta take it out immediately. And I was just like, this is not good.
Get it
I
out.
would never in my life like ever buy those ever again.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, did it burn him?
No, not really, which is also horseshit. But besides the point, I wish it did. But besides the point, that was fucking hell. So yeah, definitely have had more close calls with condoms on than haven't.
Damn.
Yeah, I'll say without.
You're rolling.
All right, my roll. You want to do one more on camera?
Share something funny. I know we're gonna keep
Okay.
playing this probably without y'all
All
because
right,
it's just
share
a fun
something
fucking game. We need to like take a shot and do it. Oh, this is a hard. This one's gonna take me a while to think about. I feel.
Understood.
Ooh, oh, I can say it, but I am really nervous to share it. It says something I believe, but I'm nervous to share. It's not funny though.
Okay.
Oh, I'll say this one that's kind of funny.
Okay.
I think that horse girls are sluts.
Horse girls,
You know what I'm talking about?
like cowgirls.
Not like girls that like grow up horseback riding and shit.
Oh, definitely. They try to act like they're not. They try to act like they're Miss like the sweet peach like Christian girls, and they're definitely not.
It's just
definitely
me.
Not.
It's just me and Penny, and it's like, and that dick.
I'm gonna ask you this question about me.
Okay.
All right. This is share something funny, and the card is the last time I made a fool of myself.
You're gonna ask me to answer that for you?
Yeah. Because I feel like I do this shit often all the time.
The last time you made an actual fool of yourself.
Last time I actually made a fool of myself. Something funny.
That you actually made a fool of yourself. There was one time. Oh, you don't let me say this on air.
What is it? About what?
I wasn't there for you. It was the last time you got drunk.
Oh, when I was turntables?
No. What? When you found out information about your previous ex, and then you decided to take action.
Yeah, I decided to take action. I found out a bunch of shit about my ex.
And then you were like, fuck everything.
I was like, fuck everything, and I got absolutely obliterated and definitely did some stuff that I shouldn't have done, but was also fun.
That would probably be
turned
cool.
turned tables outside because I was really pissed. I called my dad, and I was like actually acting a fool, and I was just kind of like... And I called my brother, and I was like freaking the hell out and made an absolute scene of myself. Yeah. And then I walked, completely sober, by the way, really. And then I walked inside, and the person that told me a bunch of information that I didn't want to find out at the time I was like, now that you fucked my night up, you're going to buy all of my drinks. And I got so obliterated. Literally on Capitol Circle, Alana had to come get me, and she drove me home, and I was on Capitol Circle. I was like, you got to pull over. I'm like in the middle of the road, fucking puking and throwing up. But yeah, I definitely made a fool of myself.
Yeah, that was probably the last time.
Definitely last time. All right, y'all.
Alrighty, folks. We're going to keep playing this game and probably take some shots. Hurricane Party. We'll see you guys next week. Yeah, if you guys want to play this game, it is called... What the fuck is it called?
It's called...
Where Should We Begin?
Shit.
By Esther Perel.
All right, y'all. Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Oh my God, what are we doing?